So I ordered this wine because I really like it, and you know, I start doing research and to talk to you about where it's from, and you know, the importance of wine. Really, it matters where it comes from. So we tend to, in the US, we talk about, oh, I like Chardonnay, I like Pinot Noir. Well, in France, the idea is very much predicated upon, yeah, but where is it from? Because where it's from is then going to define certain characteristics about the grape variety, right? So it always matters to me, and I do enjoy talking about that. And then the more research that I did into this, this winery is based in the commune of Balsac. I didn't pick the wine just because of that fact. It is a happy accident that I have been enjoying. Okay, and to be fair, the wine is made from a larger winemaking region. This is in the southwest of France, and it's called Marcillac. None of you will remember Marcillac as a winemaking area, but you'll all remember the commune Balsac for the rest of your life. No one will ever forget that. So this is coming from, again, southwest of France. Really, the best way to describe it is east of Bordeaux. That's important to remember. We're going to talk about Bordeaux a little bit. This is Domaine du Boissières, and this is their 2020 Le Quille de Rouge. And now buckle up for this one, because this is a little bit more in the obscure camp, and by a little bit I mean radically obscure camp. The grape variety here is called Mansois. It's also known as Fair, so there's synonyms for grape varieties depending upon the region in which they're grown. The reason that you have probably never heard of this grape variety before, and I mean I'll be wildly impressed if you have, is basically, historically speaking, there was a moment in time in which all of these wines in the southwest of France were exported to the rest of the world through the port city of Bordeaux. And as the Bordelais started making more and more wine, they effectively started to choke off all of the wine coming from all of these southwestern winemaking regions in order to sell their own wine. Before modern technology, before cars and all of that, the only wines that were really important or had notoriety were the wines that were located close to a body of water, like a river, not a lake, but a river that eventually led into the ocean, because everything was transported by ship over a long distance. So the Bordelais figured out that they could just prevent you from going any further east and no, just stay in our territory, buy our wines. And so economically, they devastated kind of the southwest of France for a long time. It obviously is changing, and you have families and producers like this that are going back and reviving these indigenous varieties that no one's ever heard of before. So let's get back to this obscure variety. Why would I pick a wine that is so weird and random that no one's ever heard of before? Well, I kind of think about it, and I'm really starting to embrace this idea that different grape varieties grown in different areas is a lot like language. The more that we understand language and adjectives, the better we can describe the noun. So if we call wine the noun, the more varieties and the more understanding, we don't say that this is great. We can say that this is epic. We can say that this is incredible. We can say that this is wonderful. It's not I love you, it's I adore you. Being able to expand that wine vocabulary with different varieties makes everything infinitely more interesting. If your favorite red wine is Cabernet Sauvignon, it's not so much that Cabernet Sauvignon is the greatest grape variety in the world. It's what Cabernet Sauvignon does in the glass that you like. There are other varieties that are very similar. There's context there. This wine, to me, is very similar to, say, Syrah, but also to Pinot Noir, and a little bit Gamay. So if you like any of those grape varieties, chances are you'll really enjoy this. It's just different. And that's what I love about this. The more curious you are with wine, the better it gets. Let's taste. So remember, this is a grape variety that I am 99.9% sure that you've never tasted before. So what do we do with that? How do you taste something that you've never had? So as I mentioned earlier, it's all about context, right? So when you're tasting something that you've never had before, it can be helpful to think about it in terms of what you have had. So I tasted this for the first time and I got notes of blueberry, which you'll notice on the nose, there is this wild blueberry component. There is a little bit of an irony bloodiness, but that blueberry really comes through. Now, the first bottle that I had, I also kept open for 24 hours just to see how it evolved. And after it opened up a little bit, which is to say after I literally opened it and oxygen started interacting with the wine really does grow. All of its personality starts to come out. I also got a bit of lavender and black pepper. And so for me, that takes me into Syrah territory, but also Gamay. It also, Beaujolais, it also has a little bit of a body like Pinot Noir. So if we taste it, that blueberry comes through. And the more that we find these, obscure regions, we're helping out entire villages, right? Because the economics of that. I mean, we're also getting to experience wine that is a lot less expensive than if you stick with just Bordeaux or just Burgundy or just Champagne. Not to say that there's anything wrong with those regions, but how much fun is this? And how great is this in addition to Pinot Noir, Syrah, and Gamay? I would pair this with pretty much anything off the grill, pizza, red sauce. I would stay away from fish, just personal preference. If the fish was halibut and it's grilled, could work out really well. This with a slight chill, charcuterie, cheeses at the end of a meal, something that you need that you want to drink a red wine on a really hot day. This is a great example. So Mansois, remember, is the name of the grape variety. You really only found in this part of France, the southwest of France. I hope you really enjoy this. I hope it sparks your curiosity, and I hope it helps you drink better. Cheers.